What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Hashnode Hackathon office hours. Got a guest that I think will join in a second, maybe getting their video and audio set up. So we should have Heather join us to hang out for a few minutes. If you're hanging out in the chat, let us know. Send a message. Let me know you're here. And MDS is doing good. What about you? I'm doing good also. I've been doing like some hack around stuff recently for a couple of for a talk that I have coming up in 2 weeks at that conference in Wisconsin, in the United States. So I've been having fun working with some cool technologies for that. Mansav, what's up? I haven't seen you, I don't think, on this channel before. So what's going on, Mansav? How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. I don't think. Let's see. See about our guest. See if I can get Heather on here. Mantav and MDS, are both of you or either one of you competing in the Hashnode Hackathon? I guess I should get a link to that for reference if people haven't seen it. It's the hackathon for the month of July using PlanetScale. So if you use PlanetScale, build something, share it, create an article about it, then you are eligible to win a prize. So that's in theory what the office hours are for anybody that has questions that's working on that. And so I'll just be kind of hanging out. I'm hopefully gonna have a few guests join, like probably random people from Twitter, just to kind of keep the conversation interesting. And then answer questions if there are any about PlanetScale or just like in general building applications and competing a hackathon. Mansab, not yet. Cool. Yeah, take a look. The Hashnode hackathons I've always been a really, really big fan of. Like, I think Hashnode just does community so well, and their hackathons get such a good response. So it's great, like from a company perspective. Like I did this with Auth0 with Hashnode, and then now with PlanetScale, and the response is just always pretty incredible. So it's fun, and the stuff that people build is really incredible. Also, like I'm always inspired by what people are able to build in a short period of time. So I get excited about that. MDS, did you say if you're participating in the hackathon or not? Make sure I don't have anything on oh, there's Heather. I don't think. All right, so Heather's going to be live as soon as she comes on. Hello?
Hey.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can. We're live.
Awesome.
I forgot to, I don't know if I clarified that beforehand.
Yeah, that's cool. I had to switch to Safari. I don't know what was happening with Chrome that kept me from permissions, but here I am.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you made it. I know, like, I had to go and like reset my permissions a while ago in Chrome after like not being in Restream for a while. So I don't know if there was like an update in Chrome or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get figured out eventually.
Yeah.
So what are you up to? Yeah.
I have a pretty meeting heavy day, so I have another one in about 20 minutes, and nice. I've just been we had like an engineering calibration, and we did a release last night. It was pretty late too. So yeah, just working and going to yoga later, and then meeting a Twitter friend, Tristan, who just moved to Nashville.
Oh, sweet.
So that will be fun.
That's awesome. Always cool to meet people in person, which we got to do a lot of that at Render, including meet each other.
I know.
And that's why like conferences and stuff are so exciting, because I feel like after you talk to people for a long time on Twitter, getting to hang out in person is really cool.
It is so cool. Are you going to any conferences soon?
Yeah, I'm going to that conference. That's literally the name. In 2 weeks in Wisconsin. And
oh, the camping one.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very like outdoorsy themed and family themed. So yeah, I'm doing that one in 2 weeks at the end of July. And then What else am I doing? I'm going to DevOps Days or DevOps Days, Boston, and just as a like to help staff the booth, so not speaking or anything. And then the front end, I forget the name of it. The one in London in November.
Ooh,
Front
sounds
end is
cool.
front end live. I think that's what it is. Modern front ends live. Yeah, that would be
Nice.
fun. Yeah, are you going back to any coming up?
I wish I was going to that conference, but I don't think I'll make it this year. But I'm going to All Things Open, which is in Raleigh, North
Sweet. Yeah,
Carolina.
I'll be there too. I forgot about that one.
Oh, yay! That's so great. I'm trying to see who else is going. It's awesome.
How'd you get connected to that one?
I saw Angie Jones posted that she was speaking, and then I went to the website and was like, maybe I can get a scholarship to go because, and I did. I was like, I applied for an underrepresented scholarship, and they sent me a code to get in free and invite 4 of my friends. So I'm like trying to get other people together to go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I totally forgot about that one, but I will see you there for that. Hello, puppy.
Yeah, I
Can
don't
you
know if you can hear my
see?
chickens too in the background, but
Just barely. Lily is back here on the couch, like in the dark.
aw,
You can just see her a little bit. She's just sleeping.
nice. Puppies are so great. Dogs and pets. Tell me about
Yeah,
this
she's always hanging
hackathon.
out. Yeah. So, have you heard of the Hashnode hackathons in general?
I feel like I have, but I don't know much about them.
Yeah. So Hashnode partners with different companies. So, like, I couldn't even do all the ones like AWS, Netlify, Vercel. I think they did one with Fauna. We did one with Auth when I was there, and so they do month-long hackathons where anybody can participate, and you build something in that month, and you use whatever that partner technology is. So in this case, it'd be PlanetScale as a database, and then you write an article about that on Hashnode and share it, and just tell people what you built, how it works, the technology stack, that sort of stuff, and then compete for prizes. So there's $20,000 in prizes for this that are going out to the winners at I'll say the end of the month. Like everything's due at the end of the month, and then the judging will take place in the week or two after. So winners will be announced at the beginning of August.
Awesome. Is it a remote hackathon?
Yep. Yeah. So nothing in person, completely remote. So because of that, it's super open to anybody that's interested, and like the participation in the past has just been like really, really good. It's amazing to me how many people not only participate but like build really cool stuff from this. So
Yeah, that's exciting. I want to do that, but I know that I'm already like super spread thin, and I don't know. Like I'm so competitive. I feel like I would want to win, but I feel like I'm not on that level yet. Like, do you know much about like winners of the past and what they created?
The stuff that people built for the Auth one was really impressive. I don't have like specific details handy. They do write-ups of the winners. So if you like search on Hashnode, you could find the write-ups from the winners. And I think they link to like their blog posts. But the stuff has been like pretty impressive. I was definitely really impressed with the stuff that came out in the Auth one. And they also do teams too. So like you could potentially participate by helping somebody else out with a specific part.
Maybe I'll get a team together. I think the last time I did a hackathon, it was like when I was in school, so we got second, which was great. But yeah, I should get into hackathons.
They're super fun. Yeah. I love it. I haven't actually participated in one in a very long time, but especially in person, they're like super fun because you get to just hang out with people and like be a part of it all together. But even virtual is still really cool too.
Yeah, I remember my experience was like super intense, but I guess since I was like so new to coding, I everything was just really intense. I'm
Mhm.
sure it's like a lot more fun now. That I've like that I'm used to that idea.
Of building, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, Ish just joined in the chat. What's going on, Ish? Ish, are you participating in the Hashnode Hackathon? I don't remember who has said that they are or not. But they have a Hashnode Discord also. So there's a dedicated Planet Scale Hackathon July 2022 channel in there for people that are looking for teammates or have questions or anything like that. So how late was you said you had a release late last night? How late was it?
Yeah, so my teammates are on the West Coast. One's in Denver and one's in San Diego, so they're like an hour or two
Mm-hmm.
um into the past.
Behind.
So
Yeah.
it's not that late for them, but it actually worked out well because I teach yoga on Tuesday nights, and we ended up. I think I hopped off around like midnight maybe, and we started
Mm,
around 11, maybe 10 or
okay.
11. Um, so it wasn't like anything crazy. I'm always up at that point anyway. Um, I don't mind it, but it is.
Yeah.
I think it does have the potential to like creep into like boundaries between like
Mm-hmm.
work and everything else. But
And yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. By the way, Jovic Covert just joined. So Jovic, I know you were in the Discord. So welcome. And if you have any questions for us, feel free to share. And so Heather, like what all goes into the deployment process? Like what sort of things, like what do those steps look like as much as you're comfortable sharing? It doesn't have to be super specific.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Like we kind of just got together and went over like the different things we wanted to deploy. I think there's three of us, and we all had like pieces that were ready to go. And we just kind of merged it all into one branch, deployed that to our test environment, and then clicked through test a
Mm-hmm.
few times, testing test. And then it's like three commands that we chain together to deploy each of the projects.
Okay.
It's pretty light. I would say. I don't know. Maybe it's a little more complicated than other processes. Like I know at my last job we would just kind of hit ship it and watch it build, make sure it didn't break prod.
Yep.
Um, I think there's room for it to be a little more automated, but right now it still feels pretty light and quick.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good when you have like some sort of automation and or like short commands to run to do the majority of the work for you. Because once you get into doing like a lot of manual stuff each time, which is what we did for a while at FedEx until we kind of made some updates. Like one, it's very nerve wracking, and then it's very
Mhm.
easy to mess something up.
Yeah, I feel that. I guess now that I think about it, it kind of feels like there are like a handful of commands, but I guess it's not too much. Like there's not a lot of areas where it can go wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, I always had. I wonder how many other companies do this, but I always had like the ideal completely automated CI/CD stuff as like the dream. Like stuff gets automatically deployed to test environments. It automatically runs unit tests, then like integration test and end test, and then if all that passed, then it automatically promotes it to production. I've never actually gotten to work in an environment like that, but I feel like that would be the goal eventually, is to get to like full automation of all that stuff.
Yeah, I love like at my last job we used Circle CI and it wasn't quite fully automated, but it was to where um once it was trunk based development. So once we merged into main, that triggered deployment to test, and then when we felt good about shipping it was like a Slack command line ship it tool that just sent it to prod. Did I freeze?
No,
Did I?
it may have been. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It looks like
Okay.
I think my image froze on
Oh, okay. It didn't
1 second.
freeze for me, I don't think. Did it freeze
Okay.
for anybody in the chat? I don't. I think I saw you. I definitely heard you, but I don't think it stayed frozen.
It's funny, my face is like frozen in little square. This is a really cool tool, the studio.restream.io.
Mhm. Yeah,
Except for
sorry.
except for my face being frozen in my view. And a silly face.
Yeah, I guess that's not ideal. Yeah, this and StreamYard are two of my favorites. Like, it just makes it so easy because otherwise you have to have like OBS or something installed. And you have to set it up all yourself. So this has less customization, but it's just so easy, especially when you bring on guests.
Oh, and you're able to like, are you able to record and reuse like content?
Yeah, I
Or
don't know what the output of this is. So in StreamYard, you can download after the fact. This also is going to YouTube, so like I could download it from YouTube as well. It also will be available on Twitch for a certain amount of time, so you could download it from there. And then I think this probably has the option to download after the fact too.
awesome. Yeah, I want to get into streaming, do live streams
hmm
and like exploring the different options and probably start with Twitch.
Yep, it's a
I'm doing a little bit of what's that?
fun world. It's a fun thing to do.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Like I felt pretty comfortable like speaking in like Twitter Spaces
Mhm.
with just audio. Yeah, let's create a sweet overlay website. I'm not sure what that means, but I want it.
Yeah. So I have this set up for. I haven't used this in forever, but I had it for my personal streams when I would run them from OBS and not from StreamYard and Restream. But the like inside of OBS, you can bring in a browser source. You can basically just like load in a browser page, like a link to any browser page. And actually here, I may have it handy. Let me pull open. I think this was qqstreams.com. Let me see if I can find mine. Maybe this is not it. Maybe I need to search in Netlify to find it. All right, 1 second. I'm going behind the scenes. But basically,
Okay.
you bring in like this browser source, and it would be like the overlay, but it would have a cutout for wherever your video is going to go, or like whatever other thing you want to show. Let me look in here real quick for stream. There it is. Okay, so I never had a custom domain for this. Let me share my desktop. I don't know if you can share a browser source. I should probably look this up inside of Restream. But so this was my stream overlay. So like this would be a starting soon page. Like so this page would show like as I go live, but I'm not officially like live on camera yet, as people are like joining in. And then there's this overlay. It's hard coded to a certain dimension, which is why it looks like it's slightly off. This is what it would actually look like. So in my OBS in my setup, like I would load this browser page and then just add my video on top of this black box. So that would be me just by myself, and then this one would be like me with my computer screen. So the computer screen would be big. I would be in the corner. This is me with a guest, and it actually like it would pull the handle of the guest from Airtable, which is where I store the information for like guests on my streams, which is cool. And it would show it dynamically. So if there was a stream registered in Airtable, it would show it here. And there's the double screen and then back through. So I can just cycle through these pages. But I could bring this into OBS and be able to like do the other things. So a few people have, yeah, I think it's really, really cool. It gets like infinitely more complicated when you have guests on. And so this works so well because it's just I send you a link and like you join and figure out Chrome permissions or switch browsers, and it works really well. Otherwise, you have to do like a Zoom call, and then I have to like go and grab your video and bring it into my thing and grab your audio separately, and it's just a little bit of a hassle. anyway, a couple of people have joined us. Coding Cat Dev is hanging out. Josh is here. What's up, Josh? Homie Coder joined. Homie Coder earlier said you weren't freezing, which is good.
Nice.
Anthony on YouTube said, I want to stream more. Nice to know what you're using and how you're doing things. Yeah, it's a fun, super fun world. Coding Cat asked, are you showing a browser in StreamYard? So I'm in here, I'm just showing my this is just my desktop. So I'm just showing like my desktop through Restream, not StreamYard, but more or less the same thing. And so this is just a browser page on my desktop. If I were to like slide, you'd see there's a code one. And Josh asked OBS plus StreamYard. So these are for me 2 separate things. So I use one or the other and haven't combined them. Anyway, there's my like onboarding for streaming stuff.
I love it. I'm starting to do some DevRel for my day job. And my first little recording is tomorrow. And like right now I'm just like, oh, I guess I'll just like record with Zoom and then maybe create like post that somewhere else if I want to like start a YouTube channel. I mean, I guess that's like, that will do. Like that will be fine.
Yeah, anything to get started. Like the more you do it, the more opinionated you can get, and the more of a feature set you're looking for. So what's the thing that you're recording tomorrow?
It's actually with Francesco. We're kind of having a conversation around like productivity, workflow, meetings, just kind of day in the life sort of stuff. And it's going to be a series for both for my company and the content is open to anything else. So I want to turn it into my own content as well. Maybe I probably won't live stream it just because I feel like that will be a lot for me to try to do like all at once. I'm already a little bit nervous about doing the conversation since it's my first one, but
totally fair.
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot and ask you to like possibly consider doing one with me in the future.
Absolutely. That's the best way to ask people is when they can't say no live. Yeah, no, I'm totally down. Awesome. That's how like you probably already know this, but Francesco like did this thing where he interviewed people 100 days in a row or whatever, and like built so much of his audience and networking from doing that sort of stuff. Like I think it's so smart.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, oh, this will be a really good first guest for me because he's done hundreds of rodeos. So, well, thanks, Josh. And I actually have to hop to a meeting. So, yeah, so great thank you for like having me on, and this was really fun. We'll have to do it again sometime.
I know. Yeah, appreciate you coming on last minute for a few minutes, and just send me a message when you want me to come and be a guest on yours. I'd be happy to.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get that scheduled soon. Yay! Sweet. Okay, have a great Wednesday, and I'll talk to you on the Twitter world.
Yeah, that's right. See ya. Twitter is such an awesome place to meet people. So what else is everybody what is everybody else up to? By the way, I want to show so one, let me remind people this is like first and foremost a Q&A thing for the Hashnode Hackathon. So if you have questions, feel free to let me know. We got a message from Coder Cat Dev behind the scenes that I'm going to respond to now. And I'm going to ask him if he wants to join. This live stream now. We'll see if he does. If you have questions about planning at scale or building applications, anything you want to try to talk about, feel free to ask. Don't be shy. And then Alex just said that he would join us on the stream. Let me send him the link, and he'll be in here in a second. And I want to show something. So this is something I've got a talk on. And there's Heather on Twitter, by the way. But this is something I have a talk on at that conference coming up. And it's a wand generator app with SvelteKit, Tailwind, CSS, and with Planet Scale. So I'm actually curious to get some feedback on this because right now, like you can generate a wand and it kind of gives you this loading thing, which I need to fix. I don't like that it moves the whole text while it's doing the loading. And it's kind of interesting. I'm doing that with JavaScript, the ellipsis thing. I wonder, like it's a little hacky, but it just was simple enough to do in JavaScript. But like you can save this wand. And then in theory, the idea is that like you would get this URL and you could send this to your friends so that they could check it out. Right now it's localhost because it's just local testing, but you can click on a link and it should take you like to that specific wand. So in theory, like you come to the website, you generate a wand and you've got, that's your wand that you can share with people. Not super, super exciting, but I'm wondering, and I asked this question on Twitter about like, if you're using SvelteKit, what would you do for auth? Because my question is like, if you're a user, do you want to have to log in to be able to save one? Do we want wands to be associated with users? Is there any better experience or way to like save this information as people generate wands? So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Maybe Alex will have some. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
I haven't used Restream in a long time.
It's really good. Oh, I don't want this. Do you use StreamYard?
Yeah, use StreamYard all the time.
Yep. So basically, same thing as you probably already know.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Were you listening to the stream up until the last 5 seconds when you joined, by the way?
I was listening for about halfway through. I missed probably the like core of it all.
That's all good. Can I show you something and get your thoughts?
You sure can.
Go back to where I was. By the way, I love the background branding. It's so good back there.
Oh, thank you.
Such a consistent theme.
I don't know why my wife ever agreed to stickers on the wall, but that's what happened.
But now they're there. That's right.
Yeah.
So this is a demo for a talk that I'm giving in 2 weeks at that conference. That's the name of it, if you haven't heard of it. And it's about building a wand generator with SvelteKit, Planet Scale, Prisma, and Tailwind, like all of my favorite things. And so you generate, like it just randomly chooses like these different properties, and then you can save it, and that actually saves it to Planet Scale, and then you get like a link here that you can share. And so my question, and this goes back to my post on Twitter, of like, if you're doing SvelteKit, what would you do for auth? And then what would be a reasonable flow for this? Like in theory, the idea is you come here, you generate a wand, and you have a link that you can share with people. Do we need users to be logged in? Do we need them to be tracked? Josh just put in the chat like anonymously through a session. So you could do like some kind of silent pseudo user tracking stuff if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like either magic link them or just anonymous, and then if they want to convert later
to an actual So you'd have to store something in local storage, right? Like you'd have to generate ID for the user, store that in local storage. And
so I know with the Firebase solution, it'll do it all for you immediate. Like, so you create the auth kind of object, and I want to say it's either cookie or database. I don't think they use local.
But you'd have to, so you could definitely do, I'm thinking if like a user comes, like if they don't actually finalize the sign up process and they refresh the page, because unless you have something in local storage, you have no way to associate like this person with whatever you store in the database, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I say database, I mean the local browser database. So I can't remember if it's IndexedDB, I think.
Okay.
And then
I've never actually used IndexedDB.
Almost identical to how Firebase normally works in that instance, and you can upgrade it.
Oh, Josh has got a good point. Cookies would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you set a cookie with a user ID or a UUID of some sort that you can associate to, that's interesting.
So my big question is always like, who do you see as like the end user and kind of the use case? Because that's the easiest. Like I said on Discord, like if this is for your Discord peeps, I would automatically throw that login in, and then you're good.
Their Discord
Take that
off.
UID right into Planet Scale.
Yeah. So it's just a demo that build. So there's no like particular audience. Like I just wanted to build something with these technologies, and I actually haven't touched this in like 2 or 3 months, and now I'm getting ready
Nice.
for this talk that I pitched like 3 or 4 months ago. So now I'm just kind of seeing like what kind of stuff would make sense to seemingly be more usable. But the reality is probably almost no one uses it because it's not that fun. But the idea came from I forget what the actual name is, but the Jamstack popsicle thing. What was that? I think
I
that
don't remember.
was
Oh man. Yeah.
it's this one. Yeah, vlolly.net.
Yep, you got it.
So you could make a new popsicle where you choose the colors and stuff, and then you could send it to someone, and you could also freeze the popsicle and get a link
Awesome.
to. So
I
if
saw this a
I,
long time. How long has
Mhm.
this been around? A while ago, right?
It's been, yeah, it was
I think
like,
Phil built it, right?
yes, real early.
You
Josh
know
is
what, I'm gonna
saying,
perfect pick that one for our pod next week. That's
I'll
awesome.
do it. Nice, yeah. Josh is saying it doesn't seem like users matter much. I agree, especially if you can't change the randomly generated values. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, do you even need? I mean, we're on this whole thing about user auth, but realistically, you have your kind of your hash for the URL, anyways. That's going to give them what they need, unless you want to like at that point say, would you like to log in and save all of yours, like
Right.
bookmark them?
Yep.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, it's good to hear other people's take on it, because like my take is basically the same. Like, one, there's not going to be a huge user base for this anyway, and then how many people are? It's not like it's unique enough that you're like, I'm going to save this and save a record of all the ones that I've done. I think what I should do though is just do like like selfishly, this is like a tie back to Planet Scale, right? So I could do like a powered by SvelteKit Planet Scale Prisma Tailwind at the footer, just like visibility for that. And then do like a couple of share buttons. So like share your wand on Twitter or whatever. And
Yeah.
then that would include like built with blah 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 or whatever. So at least
You
there'd be
almost
like
need a
some
way to
visibility
like,
to
yeah. You almost need a way to like go viral with it. So
Mhm.
when you're kind of doing the localhost piece and getting that hash, you almost need like a Wordle type of like blocks or something that produces your Twitter image. So then like people are sharing like popsicles
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
whatever
yeah,
or
yeah.
wands. Like they'd share what
Yeah,
their wand color is or something like that.
right. Oh, that's great. I love that.
So
Absolutely.
another cool tie-in, maybe. Are you a MDE? I can never remember. For Cloudinary?
I am an MDE.
Okay.
I just, full transparency, I just like messaged Colby a little while ago, and it was like, I love being able to support Cloudinary, and like technically I'm still a Twilio champion and stuff. I love being able to support, but I just don't have like dedicated time to be able to really do anything. So like my status I think is kind of up in the air, because I don't want to like take away spot and resources from like some other person
Yeah,
that
yeah.
may be able to contribute more directly. But I have been an MDE for the last year or two, maybe. And we'll kind of see if
Cool.
that officially stands. But regardless, I'll be sharing like awesome Cloudinary stuff. But Cloudinary, I assume, is where you're going, would be
Kind
perfect for
of.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was kind of doing something similar to this with AppWrite, kind of instead
Hmm.
of like the planet scale side of this. But when you're kind of creating, what does your page look like when you open it?
For this website, for the wand
Yeah, for
generator.
the wand generator.
So it just looks like this. And I was thinking like
Oh, okay.
I could
So
just take,
you're not like actually like showing a wand at any point.
no, so that's the only downside. And like I don't have those individual pieces that I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
swap out, you know?
There's a couple AI generators. Let me go find it. Like if you could plug these in,
Hmm.
there's a lot of people doing like NFTs out of this. So like
Oh yeah.
like they just create that based on those values right there. And we kind
Yeah.
of need to tie that in and like produce a Cloudinary image and then just host that. And then you can share like crazy. It'd be awesome.
Hmm. That would be all. I would love to have those individual pieces. I wonder if,
It
I
is a
can't even
fun
remember
problem.
where I got this information, like the wand, the core with flexibility, etc. information from.
Wonder the Harry Potter API maybe?
I can't either that or I like scraped it off of like a Wikipedia page or something. Let's see where I feel like I have that. Is it globals? Yeah, there we go. So inside of
You-
globals, I've got all those different pieces
Okay.
of like the types of wood, all the different things. And I feel like I like web scraped this and then just parsed it and pasted it in.
Yeah, sweet. You know, you
This would
could
be
tie
go ahead.
back this. I would totally just even take your image that you currently have,
Mhm.
blank out like the selections, just to keep it like super simple. Blank
Mhm.
out, like just leave the blue, but don't have any like words in there. Use
And
that
text
as your
overlays.
background overlay or underlay, whatever you
Yeah.
call it, and then
Yep.
just overlay the words. It would be
Agreed.
super easy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so
That'd be cool.
here's my one complaint with Cloudinary. Lining up text overlays is a real pain. That's the
Sure
only
is.
thing. Like I
Yeah.
love, and I've done it in several different demos, but it just getting it in the right spot because there's no great way to test it either. Like I
Have you
run
tried out Colby's generator? He's got
no.
a little magical tool you can kind of use. Let me see
What?
if I can
Okay,
find it.
yeah. Oh, Josh has got a good
Oh,
point.
I
That's really
perfect picked
interesting.
it somewhere. Let me go back and
Find
search
that,
our.
find that, and send it to me because that's my one like big pet peeve with doing text overlays is I have to like run it, get the new link, test out the like open it, see where it is, move it 5 pixels to the left, kind of thing. Josh
I
is
know I
saying
perfect
this is a
picked
really
his
good idea.
generator.
He's saying it would be cool to know how rare or common your wand is based off the other generated wands.
Oh,
That's cool. You
that
could I
is
could
cool.
also do I could also give like a weighted ratio to the different ones. Like I could just say like in my data, like swishy is a super common flexibility and give it like a 0 to 1 number or something to show how common it is. And I could say rigid is going to be like super rare. So I could actually like track that information myself. I would also like to move this to something more developer related if you have any ideas. Like this same exact idea that we're talking about cuz I love the like get a screenshot that you can share on Twitter or social. I love the popsicle thing of actually being able to see the popsicle
Yeah.
versus just the properties. And then I would love like this is just not something I think people are going to be like I'm so proud to share this, but something like
Yeah.
trendy developer-y I think could be super
Mhm.
super cool.
Yeah. Like if are you like stuck on the wand idea?
Not at all. So I am presenting on this project in 2 weeks, but that has nothing to do with any longer implications. Like all this
Okay.
code I would still reuse. It would just be a different concept.
So I think I've once seen, and I'll go search around. By the way, I shot you the link for Colby's thing. If you want to cue that up while
Oh,
we're
is that
chatting.
in Discord? Oh, sweet. Yeah, got it.
So I saw this thing one time, and I'll have to go dig around, but you know how you used to make like ASCII based images? You could
Mm,
almost do a generator
yeah.
for that type of style, but maybe use icons or like emojis coming out the other side. So then you could kind of play with it because if you share on Twitter, like I share a link, it would produce the correct like either ASCII or emojis out on Twitter, which is kind of fun. I think that's the whole Wordle piece is it was very simple, like blocks of emojis, right? Like green block, yellow block type thing. Instead of like going full image with it, you just go blocks of emojis with it. So your wand would
Okay.
become like a structured maybe block of them and
Okay. So
maybe.
here I'm going to tie that in and I like where
Yeah.
this is going. I'm going to tie that in with what Josh just said in the chat of do a full stack generator.
Yep.
Grab random like stack solutions. So you have client, server, DB, library, and those are easy icons that you could tie together in the exact same way as
Yeah.
Wordle.
Yeah.
Sold.
Ooh,
I like it. Yes. Yeah, I like that a lot. That'd be
this
so
is
fun. And
interesting.
then have you seen, I don't know if you're on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I occasionally peruse, but
Okay.
no.
So on TikTok, they have, and they've got it on Instagram and like all the other places too, where they have the filter or whatever where it'll have like my Disney character and it like cycles through Disney characters and stops on
Sure.
a random one. You could do the same thing. Like people do that with languages too. I've seen people do it with like back-end languages or whatever. Like that same thing here, that would be so much fun and so
That would be super
universal, like
fun.
for developers.
It'd be really cool too if on that page you'd almost like it somewhat sensitive type of area, but you could take the photo of a person and then they can share out and then full stack it beside them type of
Like
thing.
overlay or to the side. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
could
know
get their
people get a little,
own
"Oh, don't
selfie.
take a
Yeah.
picture of me," but
Yeah.
maybe you can
Well,
load
hey.
your Reddit emoji or Reddit. What's
Mhm.
the Reddit dude? Whatever that person is.
I don't know. Yeah. I like it. Or you could do like a build. I mean, this is going a little beyond, I think, the normal scope or the starting scope, but you could build like, here's the 10 different options I have to build my developer character
Yeah,
and then have it side by side anyway. That's super cool.
that would
Okay.
be cool.
I'm definitely gonna run with this like random stack generator. I love that.
That would be really cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd be more than happy to help you work on that because I think I could take that to AppWrite too. So we could just kind of like, hey, here's how to use it this way and that way. And
Mhm. Yeah, that'd be cool. I like
are you
the idea
doing?
of both building something with different technologies because the auth thing, the reason I asked that is if I needed auth, because I'm using PlanetScale, I wouldn't get like the built-in auth with Supabase, Firebase, AppWrite, etc. So I have to
Yep.
find like another alternative, which is still because Next.js has NextAuth, which is super, super popular. I worked at Auth0, and I was just kind of curious if there's like anything else that people think about.
Yeah, those are always the main ones I kind of cycle through, I guess. Did Okta end up buying more than Auth0? I heard there was rumors.
More than like another company?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on air if you don't know anything.
I don't know.
'Cause I can never remember, like, what NDAs I've signed and, like, what room I was in, so I'm
So
like,
you've got
"Oops."
insider info. Not
Yeah.
that I know of, so I guess we can leave the
Okay,
topic there.
cool. I think there's maybe something coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
what
this
you
is
could do just to
yeah, go
show
ahead.
off, I don't know what
Yeah.
you wanna accomplish on this stream, but if you screenshot that, I can show you how this works, for Colby's thing, but with yours instead if you want.
And by the way, let me just do another reminder for people. So this is a office hours live stream for the Hashnode Hackathon. So all the conversation that we're having and what we're showing, it's all just kind of like filler hanging out content. So if anybody has questions about building something for a hackathon, participating in the hackathon, make sure to just share that in the chat. Otherwise, we're just hanging out and hanging out. So you're saying grab. I don't have to make this look super pretty, but just grab this empty version. Oh, and you're saying to do that with the blue blocks already there. Let me see if I can
Yeah, if you can,
edit this.
you could always just edit the HTML too, James, if like, just open the page and clear the text.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find where. Okay, so on the index page, I guess I should zoom in while I'm streaming. The difference in size of my code when I'm streaming versus just working by myself is like drastically different. I assume that's for a lot of people.
It's
So
kind
the
of
one
scary.
generator.
I have my
Yeah.
terminal set up for live stream and my iTerm for me, and it's just
Mhm.
drastically different.
Yep. So I think I should be able to. What's my? There we go. I think if I just update these to strings, I think we'll do that, like the initial instead of null. Okay, I did not. All right, I won't
Yeah,
fumble around with
you're
that
probably
too
checking a
much.
falsy value somewhere for the background.
Yeah. Let's
It
see.
it really might be easier just for sake of time, just
Yeah,
clean off the HTML in the page itself.
this is what we get for being hackers.
I
My
know.
teammate Brian looks like he's trying to join, by the way, so he may hang out with us here in a second.
Sweet.
I don't know.
Um,
Do you know Brian Morrison online?
yes. Yeah. I don't know if we've ever chatted face to face though.
Cool. Yeah, he's on. Oh, rats. Now I got rid of the height.
Oh,
I'm,
dang.
yeah.
Can we do line height just to add the CSS or no?
Probably.
Oh, there you go. Do you have like a if else
Here's the
on
one
the blue?
details. Yeah, here we go.
Boom. There you go.
So just delete that. Do we do it? Okay. So now go back to this thing and redo or undo. Oh, okay. Doop, doop. All right. Oh. Will it work if I just do a space? Probably not, right?
No, I
Is there
think
an empty?
if you go back down to where you did the blue piece,
So the
in
blue
the
piece.
tailwind, I think it's line, and then you can give
Okay.
it or you can just give it a height. Just do H16 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So that's on this span. I don't know if I have to choose the
Yeah, as you said, that might be big.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Let me check in with real quick and behind the scenes if Brian wants to join.
Yeah, I'm really curious, Josh, if you're listening out there, I'd love to hear what you love about nhost, because all of these solutions are very similar now between like AppWrite and nhost, and
Yep.
I'm very curious.
There's so many fun ones. By the way, the AppWrite hat that you got on is really dope. I like that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
cool.
that. I got all my swag. I even got this crazy pillow from him.
Oh, sweet. I need some
like, that's
pillow
cool.
stuff. Yeah. So hopefully this weekend I'll have a lot of this, but I've been planning a redo of my entire office for like months now, and I just haven't done anything. But I just paid for an online like interior decorator designer consultation, and so they sent me links to like buy and get everything set up behind me. So I should have like a much more cohesive background sometime soon.
That's really cool. I want a sound engineer like to look at my room and tell me like what I can fix.
There's so many things. Like it's kind of hard for me because it's not just interior design that I need. I also need it like factoring in camera angles and stuff. So it's like, it's not just basic stuff.
Yep. I feel you.
Okay. So I'm going to take a screenshot. Can I paste it into that thing from Colby, or do I need to actually like save the file?
I think you're going to need to save it, and I think you'll probably need to load it to Cloudinary.
Okay. I can do that.
If you don't have a Cloudinary, let me know and we can work that out. I would actually do all the way from the top of the wand generator and just
including
not
that
get the
text?
generate button.
Okay. I wondered about that.
And kind of make it as 16 by 9-ish as possible. Which might get interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how well I can do that. That's probably close-ish, right?
Yeah, that's close-ish. We can always crop.
Let's see what my estimation for 16 by 9, how that goes. Oh crap, I hit the wrong button. Dang it. I gotta do it again. So I have two different shortcuts. One that just copies it to the clipboard, and one that gives me the option to copy it to the clipboard or save it as a file.
Nice.
All right, so now
should I respond verbally to questions or text them?
Yeah, go for it. The one from Homie Coder.
Yeah. So very, very cool solutions, Homie Coder, between nhost and AppWrite. Originally what really drew me in was the serverless functions. They're both covering that now. The spot that I'm loving so far is all the Docker containerization and self-hosting that you can get with AppWrite. It's really kind of blowing my mind a little bit. So that's what drew me in. I was kind of interested in them all, and that's why I headed down that road. We have a list of like what our competitors are doing and what we can do better and stuff like that. And nhost it's right up there. So The only things I think they're missing right now is a lot of the SSL side. I don't know how open source. I think they're fully open source as well. I think you self-host and host as well. So
And yeah.
they're very, very
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
There's just so many good options. And that's like, it's just not a problem though, because there's so much like potential use case for all these different technologies. And then people just go with different ones based on what they hear about and have the best experience with first. So that's part of it. And then also the more experience people get with the different platforms, they get more opinionated about what specific features they want. And those specific features that people want and need are different for individuals. So like,
Yeah.
even though they may do like 90% parity, there's like that 10% difference between one of many different services, and people can like make their own decisions based on that.
Yeah, that's why I think we're kind of somewhat in this next evolution of I'll call it Jamstack. Maybe we're past that name now.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I still use it.
Yeah, it's same.
Or I just say modern web, I guess, in general.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. Like, are we saying modern web? I don't
Yeah.
know. That always, like, when people say modern web, I'm like, are we talking Web3 included with that now? Like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah, I'm
it's
not
so
there
tough these
yet.
days.
So
Ajax, nice.
but
Yep, I
Ajax,
like
that's where it is. That's right.
Yeah, great point, Josh. On the nhost offers a paid hosting solution, so we're getting there. That's the one big thing right now. AppRite needs. So
And
cool.
this
Looks
is
like you
coming
got your
from me,
image up there.
not you, but I've heard, and this was told to me so that I could publicly respond to someone, that by the end of the year is the goal for the AppRite hosting. That's what I've heard, that I think was meant to be public. So
See, that was me hesitating again. I'm like,
I know, yeah.
I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But like,
If you have
so if
details
were told
beyond that, keep those to
perfect.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Okay.
So by the end of the year.
Yeah. So I've got I'm inside of Cloudinary for people that haven't seen it before. I created a folder just to keep this a little organized for SK's FeltKit wand generator, and then I uploaded this blank image. And the idea is we're going to take this blank image and we're going to upload text on top of it to fit into these different pieces. Is that right?
Yep. Cool. So if you click the little chain link on that picture, it'll grab that for you.
Grab the link. Yep.
There you go. I should be able to drop that in. Yeah, right there. That image ID on the top. So you'll have to put your cloud name, which you can take out of that URL wherever it's at.
I think
James
this is
Q Quick.
This is just the image ID, right? So this would be.
Yeah, so I think you're good there. Pull out the James Q Quick and then.
Oh, don't keep the James Q Quick?
No, I think you take that out and you're going to put that in your cloud name.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
I think that will get you there.
Hey,
look at that.
Oh, sweet. So
So now,
let's keep going. Yeah.
Now like this, so your image options, you're looking pretty good here. So we might change that later, but it looks good. What you can do on the text though, now you can start playing around position wise. So
I was
going to suggest you update your text to white too. So it's a little more ally friendly.
Yes. Is it on the actual?
I think it's black. That's why I was noticing it. Yeah.
I think it's the dark blue. So I think the contrast works. Like I think the contrast works for that.
Perfect. Nice.
Wait, no, it is black, but the contrast still works. Right?
Contrast.
It's showing.
You got a 5.7 on it?
Color. Yeah, it is black. And the contrast does seem like it checks out at 5.7.
Can you just help me, like, because I'm crazy? If you change that to white, I'm curious what that goes up to.
Absolutely. And usually what I do with Tailwind is use I feel like that may not be as good.
Yeah, it might not be. That's why I'm curious.
The combination of, like, if I have the light blue background, do the dark blue text on top type thing.
Yeah, that's why I end up trying to do too.
3.67, so it's a little bit lower.
See? Perfect.
Yeah. Josh has a question, by the way. Why do we reach for any framework like AppRite instead of just doing it yourself? I know it can save time and offer work you might not know how to do. Just curious about your thoughts. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I mean, I can run with it a little bit, but I have a feeling this is going to tie into planet scale too. So, like personally, I wouldn't want to write a database. Like that would be a nightmare. I also wouldn't want to write all the SDKs for both like Auth, real time, SDKs for like the node side of the cloud functions, and usually that's my stack. Like I'm a Firebase GDE too. And so
Hmm.
my stack
I didn't
always
know that.
has to be like, it's got to include auth. I need a database, whether that's Firestore, real time, MariaDB, and AppWrite. Any of those, I'm going to need that for sure. And then cloud functions or microservices or Lambda or whatever term you want to use today. As long as I can create services that have that Node.js server side application piece, that's pretty much all I need. The rest is like, it's just icing on the cake for me. Like being able to go from Firebase and jump into GCP because they're so tied in. That makes it nice. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I think like for me, the AppWrite ecosystem, Firebase, Superbase, like all the ones, it is super nice to have all that stuff tied in. Because with me at Planet Scale, like I think Planet Scale is an amazing option for databases, and especially with Prisma, like super easy to set up and get started, all the things. But that means I do have the like, what do I do for auth? So some of that is a benefit, right? That means you're not necessarily tied down to one platform for all the things you need. You can kind of pick and choose the different ones that work best for you. But that means learning the individual technologies and things that you're working with. Auth, like from an Auth0 perspective, I think the like basic auth is not too bad, especially as you're building something yourself. But then you think about like keeping up with best practices in auth and integrating with other platforms and other login options and doing like magic links and 2FA and all those things. Like once you start adding on authentication features, your responsibility grows like exponentially. So that's kind of always been the pitch for me, I think, with Auth0. Like there's really nothing wrong with me building like a basic JWT auth type thing for the thing that I was just talking about. It works fine because it like doesn't matter if it gets hacked, to be quite honest. Like it would suck, but then you start like real world applications and real world taking care of like modern features in auth and incorporating them into what you're doing. That gets like progressively more and more difficult. I do. Maybe you can partner with me. We've got somebody in our Discord channel for the video that
Oh,
I did and a follow up video that I'm going to do with functions. And the idea is I'm using Cloudinary and I want to generate every 30 minutes or whatever, because the functions in AppWrite allow you to do cron jobs, which is super
yes.
cool. That's a very, very useful feature. And so I was going to do a regeneration of my Twitter profile
Oh,
to
geez.
show
I'm
my
I'm working on
followers.
this exact thing right
Are
now.
you
It's
really?
hilarious. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So I've already
have
got
you
like
have you seen Black Magic and what they
no,
for check out Black Magic, well, what's it called? Some Twitter profile, something.
it's a Twitter profile.
So it's blackmagic.so. They do a bunch of Twitter stuff, but then they do a profile image update too.
Okay. Oh,
I'm
cool.
doing this exact same thing right now with AppWrite and Cloudinary, so it's kind of hilarious we're talking about it.
Wow. So are you planning on creating the video for that, like on the AppWrite channel too? Does that make the video on my
Yeah.
channel less
Wait, are you
valuable?
doing it for AppWrite?
Well, so to be quite honest, like I did the sponsor video with AppWrite, and then I'm
Yeah.
unhappy with like how many views it got. Like I feel like it should get more visibility
Yeah,
for
I
AppWrite
saw
as a
your
platform.
response on that. Yeah.
So
I-
I had been thinking about doing this one originally and then backed out and did the like here's 5 reasons you should check it out video. And so now I'm just going to do this as another like just to try to show more support and try to get some more eyes on the platform. So that is my plan, is to publish that exact video on my YouTube channel.
That's hilarious. We should tag team that one for
Yeah.
sure. I'll chat with you in the Discord
Yeah.
because I think
Maybe
you're
we
in the
could do
AppWrite
like
Discord.
a part 1, part 2 thing. And that would actually be a good overlap too, if I were to send somebody from my channel to the AppWrite channel for part 2, maybe. And I've
Yeah.
already got, so I've got all the Cloudinary code and the Twitter code. So I've got the function to like pull the latest followers, and then add it to my image that I uploaded in Cloudinary with the text overlay.
Nice. So you've already got a big part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so we do for perfect.dev, mirrored the pink one here. For all of our overlays, we create them dynamically. So like when someone signs up, they drop in their Twitter link. So we grab their Twitter image from the Twitter API, and then we do what we're doing with Colby's here. Instead of overlaying text, we overlay an image on there. And then that's our Notion card, and it ultimately Notion is now providing it directly out to our website. So it's amazing what you can do when you put this stuff together.
So I get so nerdy.
Did you say somebody's out in LBT looking for something, or
did I say somebody was looking for something in LBT?
Yeah. Or maybe you're
sure.
asking something else in Discord. No worries.
Yeah, that may have been a different thing. Brian said he built a custom OpenID implementation at his last job, educational but not fun, and just just not long-term scalable, right? Like the amount of learning that one person may have to do to get to that point. Now that person leaves, most likely you don't have other people with that expertise, and so if you're trying to make updates and changes and stuff, it's just, we see that a lot at companies of like the individual has the knowledge and they leave, and now what do you do type thing. But
the maintenance too is just nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done the same thing, Brian. It's painful. Yeah. I'm glad I walked away from it too.
Josh, question. So back to the example, how is the image being saved to Cloudinary? Reading the source code, it doesn't seem obvious to me. So Josh, which example are you referring to specifically there? But I think probably the answer is that, like in this case, there's one image that is saved to Cloudinary for me. So this is the image. And then what happens is these transformations, like all the text overlays and anything you want to add on top of it, those are basically just like query parameters that you can add on to the URL for that image. And Cloudinary knows how to parse those and then transform the image appropriately. And then the really cool thing is after that version of the image has been referenced one time, that image is now cached. So like I wouldn't see that in my dashboard here, but after we generate one of these images the first time, that image is cached. So it's just ready to go whenever somebody, in this case, if somebody goes and views this on, anyway, wherever the image would be after the first time, that image is just cached. I'm pretending like I was listening, but I can't hear you. I don't know if
Sorry, I knew Twitch was going to be loud if I joined the actual chat. If you show that full URL under your image, it might make more sense too for the query params. I think you can copy that there.
Oh yeah. So like inside of here, I don't even know where's the actual unique ID for the image. The name of the image is here. So this whole thing. And then all of this is like I said query param. I guess it's technically route param information about that image and the overlays to put on top of it. So yeah. Did you say you have the Twitch window open also? I think I just heard, yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to get there with muting.
That's all good. Yep.
I didn't know you hung out with Tessa for this too. We're all over the place.
Hung out with Tessa
Mero from AppRate.
Like in Discord, you mean?
I see it out on your Twitch channel on the main page here.
Oh yeah. Like hung out in terms of had her on stream.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yes. Yep. Gotcha.
Nice.
I was like, we haven't actually met in person yet. Can't wait, but just not yet. You got another teammate, by the way. Brandon's hanging out in the chat. What's up, Brandon?
Nice. What's up, Brandon?
Tesla is the best. Who sent that?
Whoa, that's weird. Is there a mod doing planet scale stuff?
I'm assuming it's Taylor. It's really funny because now I'm curious. I don't know if okay, that's Taylor. What's up, Taylor? Taylor may join. Like I'm probably close to wrapping up here in a few minutes anyway. But she
Cool.
was maybe going to join if it made sense. Do I have anything? Oh, I have a stream. I have to go now. Yeah, I need to
Cool.
go. I got another thing.
Is someone
But
else taking this over or no?
I don't think so
Like the-
unless Taylor wants to. So yeah, I think the answer is no.
No worries.
All right, cool. But we'll talk more in Discord about both of these things. And then you, me, and Josh, and whoever else is interested should build out like the random stack generator thing and turn that into all the features that we just talked about. That'll be really cool.
Then splash some AI on it and like all this
That's
stuff.
right. All the things. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming and hanging out, by the way. Appreciate it. And thanks everybody in
Anytime.
the chat. And catch you all later.